On my channel, I talk a lot about why engagement is more important than just your follower count. However, all of us are aiming to grow our audience on Instagram. So today, I want to teach you how you can merge those two principles and use engagement to grow your following. Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Steckly, and here on YouTube, I love to share my best social media and content creation tips and tricks. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I upload twice a week talking about Instagram, podcasting, TikTok, YouTube, and more, and I wouldn't want you to miss a single one. So let's talk about how you can use engagement to get more followers on Instagram. Personally, I think this is the best way to go about growing your audience because this is a surefire way to find engaged, authentic, real people who are actually invested in what you're doing, because followers do not necessarily make a profitable business. What you need are engaged followers. So how do we find those? Well, today I'm going to tell you just that. The best way to find engaged and loyal followers is to go out and engage with them on their profiles in meaningful ways. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about, first of all, what is a meaningful form of engagement in the eyes of the Instagram algorithm and when it comes to actually interacting with people. And second of all, where are the places that you can actually find these people, and what are the systematic ways that you can go about finding them and bringing them into your community? So let's start with what is meaningful engagement. As far as the Instagram algorithm is concerned, a meaningful comment is one that is at least 4 words long and has not been repeated multiple times by the same user across a bunch of different photos. So that's the computer's take on what meaningful is. It's also important to think about what comes across as meaningful to a real person. On one level, just getting a comment instead of a like means a lot more. If I'm thinking of myself as a potential follower of my account, if I just see a like from this profile at Steckly, I'm kind of like, okay, cool, just another person cruising through a hashtag. If I see a comment from this profile called Steckly, I'm already going to take a little bit more time to take notice of it and potentially check it out. So of course, comments are more meaningful than likes, but it's important to also take your comment from just some kind of random statement to something that is actually going to catch the attention and the notice of the person that you're talking to. The way I see it is this: you want to pick out something about the photo or about the caption that you can actually have a conversation about in some kind of significant way. The worst thing you can do is just go to somebody's profile and comment nice pic or great tones or that's gorgeous heart eye emoji face. These kind of things honestly feel a bit spammy. It feels like a bot could have written it. It doesn't really lead to a conversation or any kind of development of a friendship. So instead, what I would recommend is when you come across somebody's photo, look at the caption, actually read it, see if you can find something in there that you can pull out and speak to. And the best thing that you can do is try to end your comment with some sort of follow-up question that is going to inspire that person to respond to you so that you can start a real conversation and have that connection building there. So in brief, that is what a meaningful interaction is with someone on Instagram. A comment that's more than 4 words long, hopefully is speaking to something that that person wrote in their caption, in their comment, or what their photo represents, something that is actually going to catch the attention of your ideal follower. Now that we've got that down, let's talk about where we can find people to meaningfully interact with in the hopes that they will become a member of our Instagram community and audience. So I've got 5 places that I think are the perfect places to start creeping around if you want to find new followers. Before we dive into this, I should just say that this really is a mindset shift for some people. I think a lot of times people approach Instagram growth by just post more photos, use more hashtags, people will come to me, build it and they will come. That couldn't be further from the truth. There is so much content out there for people to sift through. They are very unlikely to find it unless you are somehow ranking really well on explore pages. But even then, you're likely to find kind of passive users who aren't necessarily really going to be invested in what you're creating. Therefore, the best way to find followers that are actually going to be engaged is to go out and find them individually, like door-to-door salesman, direct marketing kind of style, but not sleazy. All of that being said, here are 5 different places that you can go on Instagram to find accounts to engage with that then through that engagement might become your followers. Number 1, location tags. This is especially applicable if your Instagram account is for your business. If you have like a brick and mortar store or a restaurant, your customers are going to be very location based. And so you're going to want to go through location tags that are local to you to find people that you know are actually in your area. Even if you don't have a business that is very specifically location based, you can still go through your city or your town to find people that would be interested in your content. Maybe they kind of know you through a friend of a friend. Those type of people are actually way more likely to be engaged with you because they feel like they personally know you, like they live in the same town as you. So this can still be a really great strategy, even if you're trying to build a personal brand that isn't necessarily geographically bound. Especially if you live in a small to mid-sized city like I do, you might find that there's actually a thriving community on Instagram. I love using local hashtags because there are actually a ton of young people in my city that are interested in connecting with other people on social media that are like-minded, have the same interests as them. So figure out if there is that kind of community going on in your area, and that could be a really great place to find new followers. Number 2, you can browse through hashtags. Hashtags are great, especially if you have a profile that is sort of niche based or has some kind of subject area that you are consistently posting about, because hashtags are kind of subject focused. My recommendation is to find hashtags that are relevant to the content that you're posting about and spend some time hanging out there. Get to know who's posting there frequently, comment on those photos, say something meaningful to them, and hopefully they will in turn check out your profile and get to know what your content is all about. This can be especially useful if you are somebody who is targeting the kind of people that would be posting on Instagram. It's important to note that if you're cruising through hashtags and commenting on photos, you are targeting people who post to hashtags on Instagram. That's a particular kind of person. Throughout all of this, it's important to remember the principles of market research and user research and think about who is the person you're trying to reach and what are their habits. So if you're somebody like me who is an educator to other Instagrammers, hashtags are a great place to hang out because I am trying to find people who want to post to Instagram, who want to use hashtags to further reach. So, right, that's perfect for me, but maybe the person you're targeting isn't actually posting to Instagram that often at all. And if they do, they maybe aren't using hashtags. So maybe hashtags wouldn't be the place to find your ideal follower. It's very important to know exactly who you're trying to look for and then thinking about what their behaviors on social media are. So with each of these different places, it's important to keep that in mind to know if your ideal follower is really going to hang out there or not. Number 3, in the comments of photos posted by industry leaders in your niche. This is one of my favorite suggestions because I really think it's effective. So here's what I mean by this. If you're posting on Instagram, there's a high chance that you have a niche. Especially if you've watched my videos, you'll know the importance of having a niche or a subject area or a focus for your account. It's also likely then that you follow people in that niche or industry that have more followers than you. Maybe they actually have a huge following. These people are amazing resources for you, not only for inspiration or potentially education or career development for you, but also because you can leverage their existing audience. If there's somebody in your niche that has like 1 million followers, there is a very high chance they are not able to respond to every single comment they get on their photos. But if you are trying to grow your audience, this is a great opportunity for you to go and answer those questions for them. So, for example, I bring her up all the time because I love her, but Jenna Kutcher is a very successful person in the world of social media marketing, online content creation, entrepreneurship, that kind of thing. I love her, I respect her a lot, and I get lots of inspiration from her content and her podcast. She is definitely an industry leader in my niche, and she's got tons of followers and definitely does not have the capacity to answer every single question she gets on an Instagram photo. So what I can do is go to her profile, look through her recent photos, and scroll through the comments and see if there are any comments asking her questions that I might be able to answer if she hasn't already. For example, somebody might be scrolling through there and commenting like, "Hey Jenna, love your podcast. What microphone do you use to record the Gold Digger podcast?" Jenna doesn't have the time to answer herself, so I might jump in and say, "Hey girl, pretty sure she uses a Blue Yeti, and I know that she records it in her closet," or whatever. Now, if I've been creepy enough to actually know the answer to that, I can be a really good resource to that person who is asking about her podcasting equipment. Now, if this person gets the answer to their question from this random girl, Katie Steckly, on Instagram, they'll be like, oh, hey, that's really nice of her. I'm glad that she knew I have the answer that I need. Maybe I'll go check out her profile and see what else she has to share. Then she comes to my profile, finds out that I talk about this kind of thing. I give advice on podcasts. I give advice on Instagram. Now she might be interested in following me because she sees that I give similar advice to Jenna, and I'm actually even more available and present because I have a smaller audience. So you can repeat that in whatever niche you're in, whether that industry leader is like Peter McKinnon or Sarah Dietschy, the Sorry Girls, like Rachel Hollis, like whatever it is you do, there's somebody who has a huge following that posts similar stuff to you, and you can go out and make friends with people who like to follow them. The reason why this is an A+ gold star strategy is this very simple fact. When you are responding to a comment on an industry leader's photo and giving value and answering a question for someone, you are talking to somebody that you already know is the kind of person who comments on an Instagram photo. This is huge, guys. This person is an engaged follower. They are loyal. They want to reach out to people. They are consuming content in a very active way. That's exactly the kind of person that you want to be following your account. That's why this is probably my favorite one out of all of the places, because anybody can post to a location tag. They might be like an absentee kind of Instagram poster who just throws up a photo of their dog every once in a while. Anybody can slap a hashtag on there, especially if they're just trying to grow their audience. Maybe they're a little bit spammy about it and they're just using a million hashtags. They'll still show up there. But the only kind of person that is actually going to show up in the comments of an industry leader's photo with a genuine question is somebody who is actually engaged. I hope that I am emphasizing this enough. This is really, really a great place to reach out to people because they have already proven themselves as an engaged and interactive person on Instagram, and that's exactly who you want. So I would definitely encourage you to seek this out, find out who the big accounts are in your niche, who are the industry leaders that you look up to. Bonus points if they are similar to you in personality or kind of flavor or style, because that means that whoever is following them will be even more likely to be interested in you. That's why for me it is so much more effective to reach out to somebody who follows, say, Jenna Kutcher, than it is to reach out to someone who, say, follows like the video influencers account. Even though we're kind of talking about the same stuff, social media marketing, content creation, I am also a young woman who talks about, self-love and body positivity. Jenna has that kind of slant to her as well, so there's a good commonality there, whereas video influencers, as helpful and awesome of a channel and account as that is, it's two dudes, so people who follow them might not necessarily be interested in me, you never know. But all of that is to say, find somebody who's an industry leader that has some kind of similarity to you, or for some reason makes you think that their followers would also be interested in you, and then go out and make friends with their followers. Number 4, this is a similar one, but it is the tagged photos of an industry leader's account or a compilation or organization's account. Let me explain this one a little bit. Probably a lot of us have businesses or brands or podcasts or YouTube channels that we follow on Instagram that have sort of a brand account. It's not necessarily like a person, like Jenna Kutcher, for instance. Instead, it's like the Gold Digger Podcast Instagram account. These are great places to go and browse through the tagged photos, because a lot of people who are fans of these brands or fans of that brand or show or whatever it is will often tag their photos with that account if they feel like their content is relevant to that sort of subject area, or if they want the creator to see their content for some reason. So this is another great place to find people who are active on the app that feel connected to a brand or compilation account that is in your niche. So you can again read the caption, take a look at that photo, and leave a meaningful comment that engages conversation with that person, and they are much more likely to check out your account if they have some kind of connection to you. This is basically just another place to find people that are likely to be interested in your content because they are proven to be interested in content that is similar to yours. Finally, number 5, your followers' photos. I know, this is kind of a different one, but it's very important. There is a good chance that people who follow you are followed by people who might also be interested in following you. The friends of your followers are perfect candidates to join your audience, and so the best way to reach out to them is by commenting on your followers' photos. This has so many benefits. First of all, it gets your name in the comments of a comment section that might be smaller than, say, an industry leader's account and might be more likely to be seen by other people that might be interested in following you. Also, engaging with your followers is just a really great strategy in general because they're more likely to see your content in their feed if you are engaging with them mutually. It also just makes you feel connected and gives you a chance to really know what your followers are up to and what they need from you, and it allows you to serve them better. So for all of these reasons, commenting frequently on your followers' photos is a really great way to grow, to bring in new people from their community, to stay connected with your current followers, and to ensure that your content shows up in the feeds of the people who care about it the most. Now, this doesn't mean that I would suggest following back everybody and commenting on everybody's photo. Like, you need to be selective because you need to be meaningful. That is really the name of the game, as I've been naming, is making sure that you leave comments that are actually saying something and starting a real conversation. If you're interested in the future, I can do another video about when to know to follow back your followers, who to follow back, all of that kind of stuff, because I think this is something that I hear from you guys a lot, that you're sort of uncertain about what the right amount of that is and how often you should do it. All of that being said, it's very important that you get out there and engage with new people on the app. People are not necessarily going to come to you just because your content is awesome, which I'm sure that it is. It's important that you go and get your name out there in location tags, hashtags, industry leaders' comments, the tagged photos of industry leader accounts, and your followers' photos. Those are the places where you are most likely to find warm leads of people that are going to be really receptive to becoming part of your audience. If you want to learn more strategies of how to grow an engaged following on Instagram, then I would highly recommend you check out my completely free training called Forget Followers, Encourage Engagement. I will link it up here and in the description below. You can sign up totally for free. There is not even a pitch at the end. This is just information that I really wanted to share with you because I know that it's really going to help you move the needle on your Instagram account growth. So let me know in the comments below if you're going to go check that out. But of course, there's always lots of available content on my YouTube channel. You could check out this video about how to use DMs to grow your following. Maybe you never thought about that before, but it is a really awesome strategy. Before you go do that though, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I upload twice a week and I wouldn't want you to miss them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!